light beams came out right on that ditch, and something was in there moving around. And I'm looking at my dad and saying, Dad, that's not a cow. That's not a person. And I'm looking at a Bigfoot. It was plain as day.
This is the Cryptic Creatures Podcast. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Todd. How was your big week, Todd?
Man, it's been really good. We've been talking to a lot of people this week and getting a lot of shows recorded, so
yes.
We've been pretty busy, man.
We got a bunch more lined up. It's going to be fun.
I know, we do. Just a lot of good content coming out there, and so I'm also excited about our trip coming up. We're heading to Oregon.
We're going to Oregon, yes.
Here in a couple weeks, right?
Yep.
Probably by the time this episode gets out, we will have been and gotten back. But watch for the videos out there on Facebook, right?
Absolutely.
And Instagram.
Yeah, we're going to try and get out in the woods and take some video and get it out there for you guys.
Yeah, wherever we can.
Hopefully, we'll have an encounter of some
How cool
type.
would that be, man? If we just.
Man, that would be amazing.
Even if we got a rock thrown at us, how cool would it be?
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to go to some cool spots. We are actually going to meet up with our first guest, I believe, Adam, hiking with Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we're going to go, he's going to take us some spots he knows up there. So, But yeah, we've got a guest tonight. Shannon's going to come on and talk about her encounter with her father.
Which sounded like a good one.
Yeah, and it sounds like they got a good long look at this thing. So let's not wait any longer. Let's go ahead and bring Shannon on. Are you ready?
Yeah, man, let's get her.
All right, here we go. Shannon, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being on here.
Good to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shannon, you've had several encounters. Were they all there in Ohio where you're at?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And how old were you when you had your first encounter?
My first one was, the first account started in 2002, and I was probably maybe in late 20s, 30s when I saw that the first time.
Well, why don't you talk about that? Tell us what was going on that day, what you guys were doing.
Well, I'll just say my Bigfoot encounter one misty night in Wapakoneta, Ohio. We was coming home from work with my dad, Daryl Hefner, September 20th, 2002. I asked him if he wanted to go to the country roads or the main highway, and he said, let's go to the country road, which is on Blank Pipe Road going outside of Wapakoneta.
Okay. As
we came over this huge hill, or an overpass, it's like a small overpass, but it's still a huge hill. We went over it, and as we was going past the overhead and going down the hill, I decided just to turn around and look behind my dad's back window of this truck. And when I did, I saw something big, just like drop from the earth. Like it just totally dropped, but it was like a black shadow, but it was big. And it just totally dropped from the earth. And I'm like, whoa, we just came that way and we didn't see anything that you drop or anything. And I was like confused because I didn't know what was going on. And my dad looked at me and he said, oh, what's going on? And I said, well, Dad, I think I've seen something. I don't know. He goes, what? I said, I don't know if it was a person or because across the road there's a farm and they have nothing but cattle and they get out. And I thought maybe it was a cow, but it was too tall to be a cow. And I said, maybe it was a farmer or something going and catching them or something. But that late at night, at 11:30 at night, I didn't know. And Dad said, well, he put on his brake and he said, let's go back there because they may need help because it's like a main highway in the country road. And he said, let's go back there and they may need our help. So we went back there was no person or anybody around, and we was like, well, so Dad decided to go up on the embankment, which where the hill is, and he went on it, and we came up on the hill, and as we came up on the hill, looking down, there was a huge ditch. You couldn't see it from the road because there's tall grass all around it, and you can't see it. And as we pulled up in there, and he parked the truck, his light beams came out right on that ditch, and something was in there moving around. But we didn't know really until he finally stopped. And when we stopped, the thing moved, whatever it was. And then when it finally moved again, then we actually seen the whole thing. And I'm looking at my dad and saying, Dad, that's not a cow. That's not a person. He goes, nope. He goes, it's one of them. And I'm like, one of who? And he says, you know what it is. And I'm like, this is not real. No. He goes, yeah, it's one of them. And I'm looking at a Bigfoot. It was plain as day. It wasn't somebody in a Bigfoot suit, or, why would they do it at 11:30 at night and it's like a misty rain? And we're like looking at each other. And he says, yeah, it is. And it looked to be about maybe 6 foot in the ditch. And it was kind of laying on its side, but back ways you could see everything. I mean, with the lights there and everything, from the truck to the ditch, it was like arm's length. You could see everything. And Dad said, yeah, they come by here all the time. He said, one night I came past here on Blankback Road, and there was a whole family walking across the road. And I'm like, you're full of crap. He goes, no, I'm telling you the truth. Now do you believe me? And I said, yeah, I see it right here in front of my eyes. I could tell you every detail, what you want to know about it. I can tell it. I mean, it's plain as day.
Well, a couple of questions I already have is, how close do you think you were to the creature at the closest point?
I'd say arm's length from the truck to the ditch. We was right there, right on it. The ditch was huge. It wasn't something small. It was a huge ditch where a person or 2 people can fit into it.
Okay. Did you notice any kind of smell or anything like that?
We was in the truck. Yeah. We stayed in the truck. We didn't get out because Dad said he had a feeling that if that's there, he says the family or something's got to be in the cornfield, because right there where we're at, there was a big, huge cornfield. And the corn is like 9 feet tall. It's like huge. And he said, I'm not getting out of this truck because they could be in that cornfield.
I don't blame you. You said it just kind of dropped out of the earth or something like that. Do you think it could have just jumped?
Dropped. Like we didn't, when we went by it, you can't see. I didn't even know there was a ditch there.
Yeah.
In that area. And
do you think it jumped from like the side of the cliff or something from the other side of the road?
It could have. I don't know. It just looked like it just totally dropped. Like from the face of the earth, you could see it. It just like dropped, and I'm like, did something get hurt, or I didn't know. And that's when we came up on it, and it was in the ditch, and it was rocking itself. Okay. Like maybe it did get hurt, or it was sick or something, and it just stayed there. And his one hand he had up in the air, like to cover his eyes from the truck light, and then the other hand was like he was reaching out, trying to do something. I don't know. If someone was there, maybe a family member in the back. I don't know. We don't know, because he just kept rocking, and his hand was like, "Help me" or something like. And his dad was like saying, "I don't know what's going on with this."
Sounds like maybe he was injured or something.
It might have been,
or maybe he was trying to get your attention away from the rest of them so they can get out of there.
Well, maybe that too. Because I don't know, but if they're bigger than that one, then I don't know. But we did not get out of the truck. We stayed right there and watched everything. And like I said, I can tell every detail about him.
Well, go ahead and give us the details then. We want to hear.
From the waist down to the feet was really skinny. From the waist to the head part was like a gorilla-like. I mean, it was big. And Dad even said, he goes, it looks about 6 feet tall. The feet were huge, as usual. They always say about it. And it was. There's no hair on the bottom of the feet, no hair on the bottom of the hands. All the hair was on top of their hands and on top of their feet. They have big feet and big hands. his one hand would make two of my hands. That's how big his hand was. And from there on up, well, where his butt and where his belly button is was peach-like colored fur, but the rest of him was blackish tan, brown, black, some gray, and as you're going up, you can see hair about 5 inches long on his arms and on the back of his legs, and the rest of it was all real short.
Did you get any decent facial
features? Oh, yes. The face is kind of like human, but still a little bit ape. His nose is real flat. It's not like a gorilla's nose, but like a human's nose, but flat. It had fangs, had teeth. Where the eyes are all at, the nose, and the mouth, there was no hair at all. And then his ears, not like our ears or anything, you could hardly see them, but you could see like a hole in each side of its head, like a gorilla's ears, just like that. And then his head was the cone shape. It wasn't flat or anything. It was the big giant cone shape. And it looked like a mountain gorilla. I swear to you not, it looked like a mountain gorilla.
So you'd say it looked more gorilla-like than human-like?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But face-wise, if you're coming up towards it real fast, you'd say it looked like a person's face. But other than that, it looked more mountain gorilla, and it was. I'm just telling you, it was something. I can't explain more than that.
No.
I mean, well, we were just sitting there going against each other, saying, should we call the Humane Society or not? I mean, we didn't want to feel stupid and go up to them and say, hey, I think we found something and you need to come look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
you couldn't explain it because if you told them it was a Bigfoot, they'd laugh at you, just like the sheriff would laugh at you and everything.
So you guys drove off.
Yeah, we drove off.
Did you go back the next day?
No,
or
I couldn't go back. No, I couldn't go back. I mean, we went by it, but you can't see anything with the grass there. So, I mean, I couldn't go back. Dad said, you know what? It's a wild animal. Leave it alone. We don't need to know more about it. He said, we're just thankful we got to see it and you got to see it. And you know that I'm not crazy. And I said, Dad, you're not crazy. I see it. It's plain as day. I mean, it was right there.
Had your dad talked about these things before?
Yes.
And you thought he was crazy?
On that road, he said, especially on that road, he's seen them all-time families. He's seen a couple, just one by themselves, just laying on the side of the road, just like having a picnic or something. He says he found some like that, and he just went right by them and that. And they never bothered him or anything. And I'm like, wow. I said, you've kept this all along, and I'm just now seeing one. Right.
You've had other encounters and things going on?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about one
other
of those?
one. Do you want the short ones or?
Oh, we got some time. Go ahead.
Okay. The other one is my dad's friend in Logan County, Ohio. He bought some land, and it was near swamps, woods, fields, and he wanted to make a beagle pen. So because he raised beagles for hunting and stuff, and he wanted to have a beagle pen, and so he made one near the woods. And one night he came home, and his wife was in their bedroom, and they have this German Shepherd. And while they was in there, the German Shepherd was acting really strange and weird. It was whining and crying and growling and just on edge. And she's never seen her dog like that before. And he came in there and he said, well, I'm going out to the garage to get something. And so he went in the garage and it started getting dark. Well, then the dog started acting up again in their house. She didn't know what was going on until she went into the bedroom and was putting away clothes. And when she came back towards where her window was, something was right there standing above the window and was just standing there staring. And it was like a dark shadow, she said, like a silhouette. And she screamed and she yelled for her husband, and he came running in from the garage. And he said, what's going on? And she said, Dwight, I swear there's something out here. And the dog's acting up. She's acting crazy. She's never acted like this before. So he went in, got his gun and that, and he said, well, I'm going out towards the beagle pen to see what's going on. So he got his gun. He went out there and he asked the German Shepherd to come with him, but she did not move. She went underneath the bed and she peed underneath their bed. And she's never did that before.
Yeah.
And he went out the back way and went towards the woods and where the beagle pen was at. The beagles were going crazy, whining, crying just like she was. And then he thought he saw something come from the beagles area and going towards the woods. And when he went after it, he heard just like, it sounded like, as he said it, like a bunch of horses going through the woods or deers or something. And he said it was something. You could hear every branch, everything cracking. And he said one thing, I'll tell you right now, he said there was no sound, no frogs, no bugs, nothing, no owls, nothing. And he said it was just quiet.
Also, dogs, they are terrified of these things. They can sense these things and they want to have nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can train a dog to attack about anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, pit bulls, they always say they're not afraid of nothing. Well, they are when they're around them.
Yeah, I'm sure they are too.
And then the latest one was here in 2019 at my daughter's house. Same thing was happening there. The neighbors down the road have a kennel with a bunch of dogs. And where she lives at, there's a woods in front of her, woods behind her, woods all around, swamp. There's a big giant, like creek, moat, or whatever you want to call it. And one night, same thing happened with our dogs. And my daughter's got 2 pit bulls. And it's about 11 o'clock at night. And they're barking at the door, just barking at it, crying, screaming, whatever you want to call it. They was like agitated, like something's out there. So I just went out there, but I didn't see anything. But you could hear the dogs down the road. Oh, they're barking just like they was, and whining and crying. Well, then it happened until 3 o'clock in the morning. Then the dogs settled down. Well, then one night I heard the trash can next to us. I thought, oh, it's maybe a raccoon or something. But this here is like it flew open the top of the trash can like crazy. You could hear it pound up against the wall. And I said, I don't think raccoons can pick up a lid off a trash can. And it's just like, bam, you could hear it. And the dogs were on edge. They were just freaking out. But I went out there and there was nothing.
That's crazy.
And then another night, it was quiet. There was no bugs because where they're at, they've got hooty owls. They've got everything there. Same thing. Quiet as a mouse. You could drop a pin and you could hear that pin. But here, I mean, it's just, I didn't know what to do. I was like, this is crazy. There's no sounds, nothing. And usually their frogs are just, I was like, I'm confused. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like all the animals and bugs and insects in the world. Just when one's around, they just
And then I was thinking coyotes because they said they're predators. Well, we have coyotes around there once in a while, but the dogs never acted anything towards them. Acted like they did before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't understand. And then another night, and back behind the house, there's this tree shook. I mean, it's a big tree, and it shook like crazy. And you couldn't see anything because it's pitch black. And I'm like, what the heck? Moving the tree like that? And I mean, it shook the tree. I was like freaking out. I said, I'm not going out. That was it for me.
Right.
And then another night, I took the pit bull out, which is blue. And he went out there, but he was acting strange too. When I was walking him out there. Well, then out of nowhere, it was like a scream of a woman, and then like a chuckle of like the devil going like that. And then after that, it's like something like an alligator when they do that thing on the water and it vibrates your chest and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it freaked me out, and Blue pulled me to the house to get inside.
Oh,
And
really?
It scared me. It's like the devil on my tail. I was like, whoa. So there's something there. I can't tell you what it is, but to me it'd be them. But I can't see it until I see it.
Well, there's a lot of activity in Ohio.
There is.
A lot of activity in Ohio. People don't really think of that as being a state that has that, but there is. We've talked to several people from there, for sure.
Well, where we live at, there's no caves. So I'm like, how are they living here in this part of Ohio when there's no caves around here that we know of?
Yeah, maybe. There might be. You just don't know it. Yeah, we do think they are more cave dwellers than not, so
yeah,
that's why they stay hidden so well. One of the reasons why. But
yeah, and then one time at my stepfather's woods, which I got footprints and everything there, I was coming into the woods and there's a big, huge log and it was there on the ground. And I went and I sat over there on the log just to chill out, eat an apple and stuff. Out of nowhere, a big old buckeye was thrown at me out of nowhere. And then I turned around and then something went running right behind me in the tall grass. You could hear it running through there. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I found structures, like a real tiny structure on a big, huge tree, which I've never seen before. Out of all the structures I've seen of Bigfoot on different shows and everything. But this one here was small, and it had like 12-inch saplings all the way around it like a teepee. And underneath it, you could see it was all patted down.
where did you find the footprint at?
The footprint was there here in Waynesfield, outside of Waynesfield.
You got
But yeah, I found that. I've been putting it on the
Yeah, I saw that
internet and
picture.
seen it. Yeah.
I saw that picture
Some
this
people
morning.
say it is, some people say it ain't. I said, well, it's in a bean field, and the woods is right next to the bean field, so I can't, I mean.
Sure looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Did you see any more footprints around it or indentations or anything?
Recently, I just got some there at my daughter's house, and it was near their bean field, and there, where the bean field is, there's another wood.
Gotcha.
And but like I said, I wish I had like the camera at the time to take pictures, because they're real. I don't care what anybody says, and they can laugh at me, and they're real. Until you, I guess more or less, until you see it yourself or have pictures and stuff to really say it's real.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Because most pictures you see today are all blurred. You can't.
Yeah, and you just wonder why. You wonder why somebody can't
Because
just
I tried
get
it
a
with a cell
clean
phone.
picture of this thing.
I tried it with the cell phone, and I mean, it's weird because you can take pictures of people and everything. They come out great. But evidently, when they take pictures of Bigfoot, it's blurry. I don't know.
It's almost like they have some kind of supernatural power that when they know some kind of technology is going on, they just, I don't know. It's a weird speculation.
You wonder, is it from space or where is it from?
Yeah.
To me, my encounters feel like they're all natural. I mean, they've been here forever. I mean.
Yeah, that was my next question. What do you think Bigfoot is?
I say it's a higher evolved ape.
But a natural creature on this earth, not put here or anything.
Yeah.
Not coming and going out of portals.
I don't think it's alien or anything, because like the Indians say that they had powers and stuff. They was here before we was, so.
Right.
And that's what the Apache, Native Americans, all of them are saying, that they was here before we was, so.
Right. Do you think there's ever going to be a time where the government or science is going to say, oh, yeah, Bigfoot are real?
I'm hoping they will, because there's so many of our people that's dying and they want to see Bigfoot before they die, and they can't tell their stories because they're gone and that. And I just hope that somebody gets enough evidence, and that, which I followed Jeff Meldrum, and I told him personally on his blog, I said, if I ever find Bigfoot, if it's dead or alive or whatever, I'm definitely going to put it on your step. And he just laughed, but he said, you know what? Bring it to me. He says, I will tell the world that they are real.
Yeah, he'd be the first person I'd probably contact.
He would, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm into Meldrum, and I said, I believe, and he believes what he does. He's a scientist, but there's people out there that are not scientists and know more than we know.
Well, we're going to get him on the show sometime and talk to him too.
Yeah, he's cool. He was just, I think last year he was down here at Hocking Hills and all them, and I didn't get to go to it, but I wish I would have. But he was there, and Bobo from Finding Bigfoot and all them was there.
Mm-hmm, cool. Where was this at?
I think it was Hocking Hills State Park.
A convention or something?
Yeah, that's what they had, like a convention.
Okay.
And Salt Fork, Ohio, they've been there too.
All right. We'll have to watch for those, Brian.
Yeah. Because I've been watching them on Finding
we'll look
Bigfoot
for those.
and all them. I'm into all them shows.
Yeah. Well, we try to go to conventions as much as possible, so we'd like to run into these guys,
Yeah.
too.
Well, I was hoping they'd have one here in Ohio or Lima, Ohio, because Lima's had a couple Bigfoot sightings up at their part of the state. And I was hoping they'd have a convention, but they hadn't one yet.
So,
Right.
another question for you. Why do you think these things are so elusive, or how do you think they're so elusive? How do they not be... How come
Well,
we're
what
not...
gets me is they hide behind trees. Why? They're bigger than us, but they seem to, like, hide behind trees.
Yeah. I mean, a creature's so big, you would think that people
Yeah,
would see them
and
all the
that's what
time.
my mom said. She said, Shannon, they're so big, you would see them everywhere.
Well,
And
they've been
I
doing
said,
this for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely good at hiding, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any kind of government cover-up? Do you think the government knows these things are real and trying to hide
You know
this
what?
from
The
us?
government, to me, I think they're behind it and are UFOs, because I'm in the skinwalker deal with that. I believe they're not UFOs. That's our government. There's something in the hills over there where the skinwalkers are at that they need, because someone said that there's something there by the ounce. You get $3,000 by the ounce. And if they've got them in those caves and everything, to me, it's government.
What do you mean by the ounce? What are you saying there?
If you watch Skinwalker Ranch or
Right.
Blind Frog Ranch,
Mm-hmm.
they're all about the same area. And Blind Frog Ranch is the one that's come up with something's in the hills, because they keep digging in there, and they said there's some kind of caves, and they said something about some kind of, I don't know, ore or something, that by the ounce it's $3,000, and the government needed it for our planes and all kinds of stuff.
Mm,
So I'm like,
Huh.
maybe, because they're still
Interesting.
around there,
that's very
Oh.
interesting.
and they've had weird creatures around there. They've had Bigfoot. They've had everything around there too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've watched some
Right.
Skinwalker Ranch stuff.
Yeah.
That's really out there for me.
It just makes you think,
interesting.
because there's things out there that we don't know yet, and we're just finding now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Just like cryptids, there's so many cryptids out there. I'm like, I didn't know these were out here, like the dogmen and all that. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
myself, I haven't seen a dogman yet, but if I did, I think I'd be running the other way.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
Todd's scared of those too.
My biggest fear is to be out looking for Bigfoot but find Dogman.
But there's other cryptids there at the same time as Bigfoot is. That's another story.
I mean, I think Bigfoot's probably more gentle. I think Dogman just
Yes.
will rip your heart out and eat it in front of you.
No shit.
Well, like mine, I think he was more afraid of us than we was of him. I mean, just the way he acted,
Yeah.
or she, or whatever it was.
Mhm.
But it was more
Right.
scared of us than we was of it. So I didn't feel threatened or anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they want to stay as far away from us as they can. So
mean-
Do you blame them?
That thing had to have been pretty injured to lay there for that long. I'm guessing when
And
it...
it did. It just all it did was just rock there, and I felt bad. We wanted to go to the Humane Society, but you know how that goes.
Yeah,
You tell them stuff like that, and they're like, "Ha ha!" Laugh at you probably, and say, "Yeah, right."
right.
Just going home or whatever.
Well, I wonder if when it jumped down from whatever it jumped down from, if it didn't like break its ankle or
Break
something, or
yeah. And see, that's what Dad said. He said that was a drop off where he dropped off at. And I said, Dad, it looked exactly like it fell off the earth, like it was like a big giant hole there, and it just sucked him up,
yeah,
or whatever it was at the time. We didn't know what it was at the time,
yeah.
but it was. I'm telling you, it was something.
And it's strange for it to lay there too, not even trying to crawl away. You guys are looking at this thing. Got your
No,
headlights
and
on
the
it.
ones, if there was anything in the cornfield, why didn't they come and get him? And I mean, we was in the vehicle. We didn't make noise. We didn't do nothing. I mean, we respected them.
I bet if you would have gotten out of the vehicle, that thing would have made a move.
Probably. It
Almost
probably
likely.
scared the crap out of me.
Right, right. That's a very
But
close encounter too. You said you were you were right up on top
Arm's
of it.
length. That's what it was. I swear to you not. That was arm's length. I said, I could have told you everything. And like I told Dad, I said, Dad, we could be famous. And he is, do you want to be famous? And I said, no, I couldn't do it to an animal. And to me, it's an animal, just like a fox, deer, whatever.
Right.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I take pictures, and if there was hair laying around or something, I'd definitely get the hair samples or feet or whatever. But other than that, because other people said, well, would you kill one? I said, no, I couldn't do it.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No.
if it's already dead, I'd take stuff from it, but other than that,
And do you think that's going to happen?
Charge me.
Do you think someone's going to kill one and bring it to science someday eventually? Or
Well, they've already I think some shows already said $1 million or whatever if you kill a Bigfoot already. They've had it on TV and everything, and nobody.
Yeah, it's out there in Arkansas or something like that.
Yeah. And they ain't found nothing yet. And then, like these other people, they said they shot at it and buried it, and then they went back and it was gone. Well, probably because their families came and got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
but
sure.
like everybody said, why ain't there any bones? Why ain't there any skin? Anything? And I said, think about it. If they're in the woods and they showed on TV, the critters there can scatter bones and stuff everywhere.
Yeah. How often are you walking through the woods and you see a bear skeleton or mountain lion?
You
don't.
No, you don't.
You know. So.
In fact,
and I'm like,
mountain lion sightings are less frequent than Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
but
report
I told
more.
them, I said, I think they're cannibals because I wouldn't put it past them to eat their own kind.
Oh yeah, no, it's possible.
If they're dead or sick or something I wouldn't put it past them to eat them.
Yeah, I think they're smart enough to know to get rid of the body somehow, some way, or hide the remains. Definitely.
Yep.
Well, here's another question for you. You've seen Bigfoot. You believe Bigfoot is real, Shannon.
Oh yeah.
What do you say to those who are the skeptics who don't believe or say, "Oh, it's impossible"? I mean, what's your thoughts about that?
I would just tell them that, there are things out there that haven't been discovered yet. And this is one thing that it's still being discovered. What it is, what it eats, what it drinks, anything. I mean, It's just, in your opinion, I've seen it up close. I can't tell you. You have your own opinion. I have mine. My opinion is I've seen it. I saw one. I know how it acted, what it looked like. I can tell you every detail. I mean, it was there right in front of me. And to me, it looked like a mountain gorilla. If you see the mountain gorillas and stuff, with silverback, it was as big as them things. And I'm like, whoa. And I just went to the zoo and looked right at it. And I was right hand's length where I could touch it. And I'm saying, I looked at it and I said, you know what? I think I met your big buddy. But it was something. I mean, if you looked at the gorillas at the zoo, the only difference is they're bigger. Bigfoot's bigger than them.
Yeah.
But face-wise and everything, it looks just like a gorilla.
Well, the thing that gets me with people is, there's no way Bigfoot can exist. That's stupid. That's dumb. But you have gorillas, which are very close to what Bigfoot maybe is, or a form of. And we didn't know these gorillas existed till 100 years ago, right? The mountain gorilla was found like 100 and some years ago, that recent. And people never thought that they were real. So when you have a creature like Bigfoot who's got more intelligence, who is maybe a combination of human and a gorilla, that can stay hidden, that can be mobile, that can move and stay hidden, people don't understand how much vast wilderness is out there until they get out.
We're big. We're very big. You could get lost in everything around here. You could get lost.
And there's people that have come up missing, thousands of people that come up missing all over the United States and never found. Now, did they just happen on their own mishap or did something else happen to them? We don't know that. But
we'll never know.
To not be able to find these people, it tells you right there that you can stay hidden out there. So.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I was just looking on the map. There's a state park not far from you.
Yep. Well, there's one there in Logan County. Or it should say Indian Lake. There's a park
Caesar
right
Creek.
there.
So
there's another park, I think, over towards, Hawking Hills, that park. We got that one. And that's very big.
Yeah.
I've been there a lot.
So there's plenty of habitat for these.
And caves, too.
Yeah. Well, we always see, whenever we talk to guests, we always look on the map and see where they're at, if we know their location. And there's always wilderness close by.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some form
of
everywhere. Just like cornfields now. There could be in the cornfields and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, we've talked to people that have had encounters with the cornfields too. Yeah.
That's why I don't like corn food. Afraid something's going to come out.
Right. You thought Children of the Corn was scary.
Right.
Oh, yeah. This is worse.
So you see Bigfoot of the
I don't
corn.
think they'd hurt you, but just seeing one just scares you enough.
Yeah, I don't think they're dangerous until you threaten them.
Yeah, I think it depends on,
or if you're on their
if they're dependent on
territory.
their family or, you're right. Yeah.
Right.
If you're on their territory, then I think. But the ones I've seen have not, except for the buckeye being thrown at me, that's the only thing.
Right.
But
Just like any
nothing
wild
serious.
animal.
Yeah. Well, Shannon, we appreciate you coming on and telling your stories.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That encounter definitely would have changed me, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, it has. And I still look, but, if it happens again, it does. If it don't, it don't.
Yeah.
But they're pretty neat.
So you're not scared to see one again?
I hope to.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the bigger ones. That'd be neat to see compared to a little one.
Right.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks 6 foot tall, so that's what Dad said. He said it looks 6 foot tall.
So that was...
And,
Well, if you get another chance and see another one, you've got to get a hold of us and let us know.
I
Yeah,
will.
let us
I
know right
will.
away.
Or if you hear it from Jeff Meldrum first, I found a Bigfoot.
Right on. I hope so. I hope to goodness so.
I'd like to help the people that never got to see one. They was in it for years looking for the thing, and then they die. That's...
Right.
Yeah, you don't see researchers running into these things. It's the people that don't even think
They go
about
to the
them.
woods.
The people that aren't looking.
Or just
Are those-
like
Yeah.
you were just driving home one night with your dad, and hey,
It came out of nowhere. Yeah.
maybe I'll be lucky enough one day to have something happen like that.
Well, I hope you do. It's going to be an experience. I'll tell you that right now.
For sure.
You'll have all kinds of emotions. That's for sure.
I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, thanks again for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate
no
it.
problem.
All right. Well, you take care.
Thank
and
you.
if you see anything again, you let us know.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
Thank
for sure.
you.
All right. Take
Thanks.
care. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Well, that was a really interesting encounter for sure.
Yeah. Can you imagine being that close for that long?
No
just
way.
staring at each other?
No way. You got to think that thing was injured. It had to have been
I don't
injured.
know. I'm sticking with the decoy angle, I think. Maybe it was injured. Who knows? But I'm
It's
sticking
possible.
with I'm sitting here so my people can get away.
Maybe. Yeah. Anything's possible. We don't know what these things. These things are crazy.
Yeah.
Weird. We don't know.
I
what
know.
we get into.
So, but either way, it was
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was a
Another
wild
good
story.
encounter for sure.
Yeah, it
Hey,
was.
shout out to the listeners as always, guys. Thanks for being there
Absolutely.
for us.
Man, we could not be doing this without you guys. For
Absolutely. Yeah, we love putting this content out there. We love hearing your feedback. I love running into people or people emailing us now, Brian, and saying, hey, I love your show. I got
Yeah.
something to tell you.
Sure. Unsolicited. I
Gets
love
me
it.
through my day. So we love that, man. And we just want to bring you guys as good a content as we can.
We love to hear from all you guys. So just keep those emails coming. Keep Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got.
Yep. And if you've had an encounter or seen some kind of weird cryptid, you want to come on and talk to us, get a hold of us. Just reach out to us and let us know. Again, we appreciate it. Brian, thanks for hanging out, man.
Everywhere.
We are everywhere.
Right on, man.
All right, bud. You take care. Until
It was
next
fun.
time. Always
You too.
fun. Always a good time.
See ya.